The stewards, I'm coming up a little lot high. All right, there we go. Sounds a lot better.
Smokes.
Love Wins by the Stewards. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening.
Who said I have a quick rehearsal?
That is Dee Dee.
Okay. All right.
It is Tuesday evening. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighbor. Would you be mine? Would you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty. It's a neighborly day in this beauty. Would you be mine?
Oh, Lord.
Would you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in a neighborhood with you. So let's make the most of this beautiful day. If you were with me, you might as well say, would you be mine? Would you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Please won't you be? Please won't you be my neighbor? You never listened to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood growing up? Did you ever listen to that, Netta?
No.
So, this is season 3, episode 6, and we're not on the camera together, right? So I need to get close to you. Welcome to the podcast that specializes in relationships, and anything that's for the culture and by the culture, where we talk about just serious issues, relationship issues, and we're trying to keep people together, right now. I mean,
Didi, you know my face says it all. Like it is something.
Trying to keep people together, right? So, like I said, today is season 3, episode 6, and we've got some really, really great questions that we're talking about today, right?
This show is going to be probably maybe our second, third best show. Maybe second.
Second or third
maybe
best
second.
show, the wife
maybe
says.
Maybe second. So first things first, let's take care of all our bills and talk about our sponsors first. One of our big sponsors is Empire, where we normally broadcast from the Empire Studios, but we have not been back since COVID started. We've been broadcasting from our home. But next week, we are back broadcasting at the Empire Studios because we've got a big, dope series of shows that's starting next week. Yes.
So we're back at Empire. If you would like to be a sponsor, of this great podcast that you can hear all around the world, what should they do?
Tell them I have a cough drop.
So you can send an email. Obviously, you can inbox us through our Facebook page and our Instagram page, but you can send a formal email to stewart.lovewins@gmail.com and tell us that you would like to be.
Y'all start with the foolishness already. Hold on.
That you would like to be a guest or a sponsor on our show. So we got somebody already talking, right?
Yes, like already. Just hold on. Hold on, Big Teasy. Hold on.
Let's shout out to some of the people who are on my Instagram Live. Then we can talk about Facebook. Bustin' Loose
yes,
too.
we're Facebook and Instagram Live today.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, before we shout you guys out, we want you to be interactive is the reason why we go live.
Yes, and do not click
babe?
on this live and click off. Like if y'all click on live and click off, I'm not going to speak to y'all.
So stay on your live.
Stay
on the live, right? And the reason why is because we want you to be interactive. You have questions. If you want to answer and join into our conversation, please type your answers. We will read them back on the air. And please type in full sentences so that we can know exactly what you're saying, right? All right, so on my Instagram, now that we have Bustin' Loose 2, we have, what's that? What is that? If you really know. Okay.
If you really know.
And Dee Dee Jones is on IG with us, and Dee Dee Jones is already talking about she ain't talking to me. Big Teasy 870, and he's already started in. Trotter Y has joined, and who do you have on Facebook? Do you have anybody on Facebook yet?
I do. See, y'all, you have to wait a minute. Like y'all just don't listen.
They already own it.
Listen, Linda, y'all gotta calm down. Like just hold your horses. Like calm down. I promise. It's gonna be bomb. No, I don't know. It's just people in there. It's like comments already. So is this Bernard? What did he say?
In the Bernard.
What did he say? Brian and Shanetta. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
That's my cousin.
Who is it?
CBina. That's Aunt Mary's son. He's probably already drinking though. Yeah, he's probably already drinking.
Well, Bernard, in order for you to know what we're talking about, you have to listen to the show.
Right.
That's the way it works. Okay.
All right. So, and how do you hear our podcast? So you can hear our podcast on any podcast app that you is it Apple, Google Play, or Anchor. All you have to do is search for Love Wins by the Steward, and please follow us so that when we download and we tape new episodes, you will get the notifications. And the audio will live on the podcast source, but you can see the video, which is the video of us, will live on my Facebook page, which is
Brian Stewart Sr. and Brian with the
It's
Y.
not gonna live on the Facebook page. We just live while we're live.
Yeah.
Like we accidentally left the video up last week, but it's just we're live while we're live.
So after we finish, we take the
That's
live down.
it.
So you have to go
That's
to the
it. You have to
YouTube
go to
page or the
Or Google.
or one of the
Podcast.
podcast source, right? All right, so let's get into I think we've taken care of all of our things that I need to talk about, right? All right, so Shanetta, the wife, pull out a question today of topics that you would like to hear us talk about, right? And so
Told y'all this
there were plenty
podcast
of
is real.
people
It's
that were
real.
talking about things that they want to hear us talk about. I want to make sure we're still taping because I don't want to get to the end of this. Okay, here we are. I don't want to get to the end of this and still don't have this.
It's
all right?
real.
All right, so the first question.
Wait, before the first question. So
Okay.
there was a question on your Instagram.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So Big Teasy said what? What did he say?
Where was y'all when I was living in Little Rock with my relationship? We had great times, but pandemic, we grew apart, I guess is what he's
Aw.
saying.
That's sad. We was here. We were
were
here.
around. We were taping
Yeah, we were here.
consistently during the pandemic because we had nothing else to do. We
We
couldn't
were
go
really
anywhere.
taking in. Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes we taped 2 or 3 times a week. There were times that we did pop-up episodes
Yeah,
because
where
we
were
were
you?
really so boring. So Big Teasy 870, I'm sorry you didn't see us, but what you should do is get the notifications on my Instagram when we go live so you'll see our episodes.
Yes. So
And
that's it, I think.
I guess Dee Dee is messing with me. She said I got a question. Okay. All right. So can we
She
go
said
into
she had
the
a
topic?
question about what?
Dee Dee said
She said you want to sing so bad.
I do, Dee Dee. I do. You should give me singing lessons, Dee Dee.
Ah, okay.
I always sing at your show, so don't worry about it. I always grab the mic and get to sing at your
Okay,
show.
go back up so you can get the most. Okay, so here we are. Here we go. In real life. So, because my husband has been doing all the talking. So, anyway, you guys know that our show is built on transparency, realness. We don't do any scripts. We don't do any of that. So, today, I made a Facebook post and said, what would you guys like for us to talk about on this show tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
There were a few comments, and they were very interesting topics. Normally, when people inbox us, email us or something, we'll pick a topic or two, and then we'll just kind of save the rest for later. But because they were really all hot topics, so like, you know what? We're just going to make this show. We're going to talk about it. We're going to bring it to the people, and here we are. So we're going to bring it to the people, and it is really, really spicy. So if you want to, listen, let me tell y'all. I'm going to give y'all 2 minutes to tag your significant others. So get your significant other. If you don't have a significant other that y'all living with, if it's somebody that you're doing a yum bouncy bounce with, if it's somebody you're just dating, if it's somebody, whomever, make sure y'all tag them to this live video on Instagram or on Facebook so that they can get this content, right? But listen, when you ask
you have a cough drop in your mouth?
because I have a cough, ass.
It's not time for the cough drop.
Anyway, I have a cough. You want me to just not have a cough drop and just cough?
I mean, I can tell you got something in your
It
mouth.
doesn't matter.
Okay.
Only
All
you knew that. Nobody else would have known had you not said anything.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
All right.
Anyway, so do not ask your significant other or your whomever you're doing yum bounce with or dating to watch this and y'all get into an argument afterwards. Listen, we come in peace. We don't want no drama. We don't want any of that. We come in peace. So please tag your people here. Make sure you guys are very interactive. So I want to see comments. I want to see questions. I want to see all that. Make sure you're very interactive. If you want to be brought on the live, so we're live on my Facebook page and we're live also on the husband's Instagram page. So if you want to be brought on video, if you don't mind being brought on video, audio, we'll bring you through. So if you want to request to come on and we talk about something, you can do that. Cool? You ready?
All right, real quick before the questions, Dee Dee saying we need to do a speed dating show. Y'all got any single friends that we need to meet new people? All right, Big Peasy 870 say I will come back for that speed dating show. Dee Dee says C. Dee Dee says not the yum bouncy bounce. Yeah, Shanetta have all of these sayings
if you got
that
somebody
she.
you doing a yum bouncy bounce with, listen. Hey, Shanidra.
Big T is saying y'all look amazing together. Black love is beautiful. And then
Thank
Celebrity Road Manager is saying speed dating would be a great idea because most people aren't really single and just want someone who's going to do more than the person that they're with.
Ooh, okay, well, listen, we're about the people. So if we need to put together speed dating, we could do a speed dating. I'll put it together.
Cool.
As a matter of fact, when we get out tonight, Here we go. We're going to put it together. It's going to
Dee
be in the making.
Jones said, let me tag one of these ninjas. I'm just playing.
Not just one.
Yeah.
Not just
And
one.
she
Like
put plural.
Like the Lay's potato chips. Somebody can eat just one.
Yeah. You got any comments before we start on our first topic here?
So of course, Shanika says hi. Hey, girl.
What up,
Jaleesa.
what up, what up,
Okay,
what up,
Jaleesa, thank you so much for tagging Chris in this video. Bernard
Chris, like, what
says,
the hell
hey,
you tagging me for?
again. Your cousin Bernard says, okay, cuz you both crazy. He said, I'm drinking my Hennessy. Just got off work.
We knew.
He said, I'll keep listening. He said, cuz your wife sounds intelligent. He said, I don't know about your ass. You know what I'm saying? At least you know your people. Listen, let me tell y'all something. Because this dude trying to be real sneaky. I have a phobia. There is a phobia that really exists that I hate to hear people breathe. I hate to hear people brush their teeth. And I don't like continuous noises. And this dude is in my ear eating some chips. Like, he already knows.
I hate to hear people talk with a cough drop in their mouth.
I don't care, but you already know that's like my thing. You should have melted the chips or something. But you know I hate.
I'm hungry. I haven't eaten.
I hate people be crunching in my ears. So just stop eating them.
I haven't eaten.
Anyway, so let's get on to the first topic because you crunching in my ear. So what's our first topic?
You don't know it.
Boy, come on here.
All right. First topic number 1. Is it okay to be with a cheating? Okay, now, this woman, I don't know her name. She sent this in, and I kind of made this universal. No, because I got to explain, lead up to how we got this. So she said, is it okay to be with a cheating man because they take care of you?
Man or woman?
I put woman because I want to make it.
Is it okay to be with a cheating man or woman because they take care of you?
Right. That's the question. That is the question. So is it all right to be with someone who cheats, but you stay there because they take care of you? And it could be a financial take care of you. I guess for a woman, it could be she could financially take care of the man as well. She could just be taken care of. It's just doing a lot of things for him. That type of taking care with you as well. So is it all right to be with someone because they take care of you? Dee said, hell to the no, to the no.
No, partner, I ain't going. I ain't going. I just can't do it. I cannot. I just cannot. I mean, I guess because now there are some women, let me just say this. I think it's more or less in the these reality shows. Reality shows are making that thing okay because most of the women that are dating these people in reality shows are significant others of football players, basketball players, actors, or something like that. So they're with these people because of probably who they are, but because they got a little money. So if they have a little money, I've seen women on these shows like, well, all men cheat, so you just have to get the right one. So I think that's just the synopsis of just reality TV. But in the real world, let me just say this. I've seen some people in the real world too, but I'm just not one of those. Like, I just can't. No, like I can't. I don't get down. Like I don't get down because I have the capability of taking care of myself. I have the capability of getting the things that I want and or deserve. So I don't need a man to do those things for me that I can do for myself.
Yeah, but there are a lot of women that stay in relationships because they want to date somebody that has the bag. Like, everybody is not like a Netta. Everybody doesn't, every woman don't think that they could take care of themselves. So women stay in relationships, where they're cheated on, where they're getting physically abused, mentally abused, because the guy is taken care of, because of a lifestyle that he provides for them. Whether it be, he has them driving the latest vehicles, wearing the designer stuff, living in a nice home. I know several people, not really friends, but people that we know that are in situations that are unhealthy situations, whether it be cheating on them,
absolutely,
physically abusing them, but they stay because of a lifestyle that this guy or girl provides them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's crazy that people will lower their standards to do that, but people do it every day. They do it every day.
I got me.
Let's see. Let's get on some of these response. Dee said, I already read hers. She said, absolutely not.
Shit, no.
You want to read Big Teasy 870's?
He says, my situation before I was taking care of her and I was faithful and she started cheating because I went for the bag. She was expensive. She was very needy, killing myself laughing. See, okay, let's address that later. Let's see.
Nate said, "Have y'all ever cheated?" Nate, go back and watch the first episode, and you'll get the answer to that. Celebrity road manager.
A man don't have to cheat just because he bring her to a swinger club or have a girl together, so then y'all have fun together. No, move your finger. No point in cheating. Y'all have a side bouncy bounce for y'all together. Have a piece. Okay, wait. Let me read that again. Bring it up to a swinger club. Oh, a man don't have to cheat. Just bring it to. See, okay, we talked about that in our last episode. We'll talk about that too a little bit more. Nate says, I have before and also been cheated on. So, Nate, are you saying that you've been with somebody that you stay with somebody because they was taking care of you, or vice versa? And then
Nate, respond to that so we can know what you're talking about, right?
Nate then stay out of clubs and go to Tinder POS.
You talking about Nate the African?
Yeah, listen. Back up, so on my Facebook Live. So Shaditra says, I hate to hear people eat chips too. That's how I know you my girl, because I hate it. Nevertheless, so Jaleesa said, no, that's dumb. And so let me just say this. I don't want you guys to feel like we're judgmental on our show, because most of the things, all of the things that we discuss, myself or my husband have went through those things in some condition. We could have been the person to do it. We could have been the person receiving it. So understand that
there's no judgment zone for us, right?
It's always so easy for people. No, we're not judgmental. It's always so easy for people to be like, girl, I wouldn't do that with y'all if I were you. But let me just say this. If you were in a situation, you know what I'm saying? See, the reason why you can't relate right now is because you got a mediocre nigga. You know what I'm saying? The reason why some women can't relate now is because they got a mediocre dude. So because you have a mediocre dude that can't provide you with a bag or give you a bag, you just like, nah, I can't take that.
Right.
But if you got somebody that really have a bag, you may reconsider it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got somebody that has a bag and you just straight forever, you might be like, yeah, he can go and get on a little once in a while. But because you have this mediocre kind of situation, that's just your response. Your response is, no, I can't take it.
And women do it. Men and women do it every day because of the lifestyle that somebody provides you. You kind of water yourself down and take them cheating on you. And as I said, take them being physical with you and all of that because you don't want to start over. Fear of starting over. Or fear of not being able to have, wear, drive, and live in the same thing that they help you provide. So you stay there and you just take crap.
Yeah, like people really kind of just, I've seen, well, both alike. I've seen people just be on some, you know what I'm saying? Like I've seen them be in situations with people that have kind of gotten them to a point or gotten them used to things that they didn't have before. Mm-hmm. And then their next person or the person after, they tried to get that same thing. So they were trying to, so because they felt like that person can get them that, they stayed in the situation in hopes of them person getting them back to that. So it's just like, so damn, you just gonna take it all? You gonna take it anything?
Or the other thing is, if they do finally break up, they try to go get somebody at that same caliber. If they dating a street guy and they break up with one, they try to go get another street guy.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Or they try to date in the same little area.
Absolutely.
If you're dating a popular guy, you don't go get a guy that nobody knows. You try to go date a more popular guy.
Yeah.
If you're dating a guy that can provide financially, so you go try to get somebody of their same financial status.
Yeah.
So that you can still have that same lifestyle, right?
So before I read the other comment from Celebrity Road Manager, the comment prior to this comment that I'm going to read, the comment that was said before, was kind of like, well, you know, there's no reason for a man to cheat. Just go to a swinger club with your girl, get you a girl, y'all have a little side piece or whatever, and then it's just kind of is what it is. So that's kind of I guess it's an option for some if that's what you like. I mean, if that's what you're open to, it's kind of like, you know, would you say that you present that? So how do you present that to your mate? Do you just say, listen, I've been getting the same stuff for like 30 years. You've been giving me the same stuff for 30 years. So can we have somebody else? Can I bring somebody else in before I go cheat? Like, how do you?
But the thing about it is, we also talked about this last week. When you meet somebody that you're going to have a future with, you sit down and you have very candid conversation about what you like, what you don't like, what your woman like, what she doesn't like. Your woman may be cool with doing that, but you have to be very honest about what your dating preferences are. If if you're into threesomes, if your woman like women, I mean, so you really have to know, because guys, some of the things that you hide from your woman, you might not have to hide them from it if you just know what they own.
That's true.
Just know what your people own.
True that.
You know what I'm saying?
But you have to. Y'all gotta start talking.
You have to communicate, and you never know what they'll go for if you never ask.
Yeah, you got.
So you have to communicate.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to go back? He said these people watching. Celebrity Road Manager says these people watching Instagram and don't realize Instagram is a lot of people aren't happy and it's for show. And he also said same tax bracket, LOL. So I do agree. I think that social media has given people this persona of a perfect life. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen people say, like, when you talk about your business on social media, you put me in your business. So now it's your business, when in all actuality, it's really not. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with making a general comment, question, concern. But people will say, because you share with us that you now have a boyfriend and y'all about to get married, and then y'all end up not getting married, y'all break up. Now we in your business. Y'all ain't don't be in nobody's business because they said they were getting married. Now y'all want to know why they not together. Like, is it really your business? Do you really share?
Yeah, you could talk about your business. That still don't give people the authority and be able to be in your business because you talk about your business.
Let's see what Facebook's saying. So Eric said, "What's up? What's up, Eric?" He said, "What's up, family? Hey, family." Bernard says, "Question for the wife." Now, see, here you go, picking. He says, "Question for the wife. What do you do if you got 4 girlfriends? How many do you keep?" 4?
He drinking. He drinking.
4, I guess. If you have 4 girlfriends and you keep 4, if that's, like.
I'm telling you, he drinking. And
Yeah.
it's just 7:30.
Yeah, that's my answer. If you have 4 girlfriends, you keep all 4. That's my response, right?
Right.
Is that, right? I mean, you just keep all 4. So y'all cool on that? So I want you guys to kind of comment more on that. Like, have you been in that situation? I think we got a couple people to answer. Have you been in that situation? Have you been on the other end of that? Have you been the one, for men especially, have you been the one that has provided for the woman and that woman has allowed you to kind of do your thing? You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. I've seen women take care of men. So if you taking care of this guy, whatever, and do you just does the guy let you do your thing because you taking care of him? That's the thing? No bet.
No bet.
No bets. All bets are off.
All bets are off.
All bets are off here.
All right, second question, right? So the second question is a banger. So listen close.
Uh-huh.
Which is worse, having an emotional affair or a physical affair?
Oh,
That's
boy.
not with your woman.
Oh, boy.
So which one is worse? If a guy or a girl get out and go to give themselves physically to somebody, or a guy or a girl go out and give themselves emotionally to somebody, which is worse? And I should have wrote down who asked these questions.
I think it's a double standard. No, you shouldn't.
I shouldn't?
No.
They can look on the post and see.
I think it's a double standard because sometimes the synopsis for women. So women think this is our thought process. If we're to enter a committed relationship and you decide to step outside the relationship, I'd probably rather you have a more emotional attachment to somebody than a physical attachment with somebody. Y'all understand that? So those that are watching.
Say it again.
So those that are watching, I think for women would probably more or less say, if we're married or if we're in a committed relationship, they would probably rather you have a more emotional attachment to the person than a physical attachment. Let me tell you why.
Why would you think women would think that? Because I would think different.
So the reason why we would rather you have an emotional relationship than a physical relationship, because if you just have a physical relationship with somebody, you messed up, but you messed up what you and I had just to fuck on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You basically messed up our relationship just to sleep with somebody. I would rather I can deal with the conversation easier if you say, hey, I was just talking, we were really vibing and I'm feeling her, because that means that you attempted to mess up something that, for something else that you could substantiate on. But to mess up what you have with somebody just to screw somebody, oh yeah, you probably gonna die.
Well, see, I think totally different with that.
That's from a man's perspective. Just from a man's perspective. I'm saying it from your perspective.
No, I would think a man or woman. I don't think the sex, if it's a female or male, I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think that most people would like for you, if you have to have them. First of all, you don't want to have any. But if if there was a preference, they would rather you have a physical, relationship, because a physical, when you're emotionally involved with somebody, it's hard to cut that off.
Nah, partner.
You understand what I'm saying? If you're physical,
But that's a chance.
well, I'm just saying most people would say, for me, if you're emotionally tied to somebody, that might keep going on because you have an emotional tie with somebody.
But what I'm saying to that is what I'm explaining to that part is that if you and I are together and we're in a committed relationship and we're married, I can deal with you saying that you sacrifice what you and I had because you have feelings for this person, rather than sit in my face and tell me I sacrificed what we had just to fuck on somebody. Because then that tells me that if you just tell me that you basically kind of sacrificed what you and I had to screw on somebody that meant nothing to you, then that means what we have mean nothing either. Because you should sacrifice for some ass. But if you sacrifice on you got some feelings for somebody and you feeling a totally different way, then I'd probably be like, that's a little bit different. Not that I want to deal with either. I'm just saying that I couldn't deal with someone telling me that they was just screwing on somebody and sacrificing what we have just for a screw. I could probably deal with you sacrificing what we have for getting feelings for somebody.
All right, so let's go to IG. Dee says emotionally is worse. Then she says, I actually agree.
She didn't say emotionally is worse.
She said emotionally. Down at the next comment, she actually says, I actually agree with B-Level. The emotional tie is hard to break. What do you have on Facebook?
So Mary says both, because women are naturally emotional and men are naturally physical. Kimberly says they both hurt, but I would have to agree with Shanetta. The physical would be worse for me. Ryan says, yeah, you're right, Uncle. Like, I think it's in the eyes of the beholder, because I'm telling you, like, I just couldn't.
Yes, that's 100%.
Whereas I do understand what you're saying, that emotional ties makes it more difficult for you to break things off. I totally understand that, because you're just emotional creatures. And when you start, people don't understand, when you sleep on people, shit, you're sharing soul ties.
Right.
So,
right.
But what I'm saying to that is that it's almost saying, it's kind of like women would say all the time, or if you've been in a situation and there was some infidelity in the relationship, and then the woman actually see the other woman that there's in a relationship, that you would mess with, they're like, damn, like you had to stoop that low? Like, dang.
And that's vice versa. That's just not a woman or guy thing,
saying,
though, too.
I'm trying to drive someplace here. I'm just saying that it's almost like a woman can deal with an affair of somebody else if they're the woman of their standards are a higher caliber of woman. They cannot deal with you having infidelity with someone else that's just a little chicken head right here on the street. Like, so it's kind of that same thing. It's just in the eyes of the beholder.
Right.
So in my eyes, I think for me, I would rather it be some emotional shit that tells me you sacrifice our thing for something emotional rather than just some getting some ass, because you can get some ass from anywhere.
Right. Got a couple more comments?
Let's see. So, Shay says emotionally is different. That brings soul ties, which are hard to break because you open up to an outside person. Janice. Hey, Janice says, I think a physical tie is easier to let go for both parties. I do too. B-Dot, what's up? He said, emotional is way worse. If a man is attached emotionally, he's deep into it. So,
my stepmom was watching too.
So I guess, do you guys agree that emotional is kind of the thing? Like, cause that's my synopsis. I think the emotional piece is just much, much worse.
Well, I thought you just said the physical piece was worse.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The physical piece is much worse. Like, if you just out here just slaying people just because you slaying people, and here we are over here thinking we're thriving. Yeah. No.
All right, Didi said, I don't want a man to get emotionally involved because at this point he's potentially wants to get to know her heart. Sex can just be a quick screw. That's what Didi is saying.
And that's just the truth. Sex is just what it is. It is. But what I'm saying to that is that I'm not looking at it as it being like a male and female situation.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it as a person being in a committed relationship. So a person that being in a committed relationship, like, here's the thing. I would rather somebody be, if the roles were reversed or if the questions were asked differently, I would rather it be, and if it's just you and I probably would rather it be more emotional than physical if it was just between myself and the party. But if it's involving 3 people, which is the 2 people that's committed and a third person that's not committed, I'd rather my dude has just some emotional ties. I can understand an emotional tie, sacrificing what we have for an emotional tie than I can that physical shit. Like I can't understand you know, messing up what we got for just some ass.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have any more comments there?
Your cousin said, you know me, he said, I hate that emotional stuff. Listen, it's nothing lightly for the people.
And so I think, like I said, I think what you said, to each his own.
That's true.
It's the perception of whoever you're talking to.
That's true.
It could be one way. That was a pretty deep question, though. And so I think it's the eye of the beholder. Do we have any? Okay, that's it. All right. So question number 3: why are women or men so comfortable with bragging on cheating with somebody else's spice? What's up, Donna? I see you, baby. You ain't missed it, Donna.
Because you talking about you trying to
why are a woman or a man so comfortable with bragging on cheating with somebody else's spouse?
so they can get punched in the throat.
That's exactly what I was going to answer.
So you can get your ass punched in the throat.
That is exactly what
That's
I'm
why.
saying.
Like, listen, I don't understand the mechanics of it. Like, I don't really understand. Here's the thing. Like, this new generational thing has made that be a comfortable position to be in. It is something about the new generation of things that's just happening. Like, they have made it okay to be a side, not even just a side chick. So let me stop saying side chick. They've made it okay to be a side piece. Like, it's cool. And so as for a woman, the worst thing you could do is make another person feel like they have some trump over your person. Mm-hmm. So to make somebody feel like they can go out and say, I'm messing with such and such, like, listen, you really do want to just get punched in the throat. Like, if y'all ain't around here punching people in the throat because they around here messing with y'all people, y'all better start just going around just karate chopping their ass in the throat, because these I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. And I can't talk about the millennium babies because I'm a millennial, and I didn't realize I was talking about it at work a few years ago, and I was like, these are millennial kids, they so damn crazy. And my direct report was like, Netta, what year were you born? So I told him.
You say I'm not one of those?
And he was like, you know you're a millennial, right? And I was like, no, the hell I'm not. So I looked it up and I was like, okay, yeah, I'm like borderline. I'm like right there. I'm almost not really one. But
yeah, but you so old school, Netta. Like, you really old school. Like, you live in the things, how you move is more like somebody who's older. So even though you are a millennial, you don't really move like them. These new school, and Dee Dee Jones just said, the new generation folks have no respect.
No respect.
Yeah, they don't. They kind of move kind of foul and just be trying to do too much and
try to kick them in the throat. Then they swear you did them wrong.
And then the other thing they be doing is, a lot of times they won't try to tell directly, but they'll try to do little stuff to let you know you fooling with somebody. Yeah. Like, go start talking to your friends, just I ain't gonna say it, but I'm just gonna show. I'm gonna do some slick stuff. But that'll get you knocked out too.
Here's the thing, though. Here's what's so crazy, and all the men that are watching are probably gonna disagree, but men are worse than women. Like, I've seen some men that just, you be like, listen, you swear them to secrecy. Like, listen, okay, we can do the yum yum bouncy bounce. We can date, we can talk or whatever, but that's just between you and I. Because they're like the females, because they're so anxious for people to know that they tell it to them. Like, damn, y'all tell it to them.
I think a little different. I will agree, because I think guys can be, most guys shouldn't be running their mouth, right? Most guys should be acting like a man, don't run your mouth. Most guys, if you gonna get somebody to talk somebody into getting you something, shut the hell up, get your little free stuff and move on.
No, sir.
It's these women that are born to run their mouth and talk and be messy. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you something. I hope my mother-in-law is no longer on the podcast. But listen, these niggas run their mouth like water. Like,
that's true.
It is
like girls.
It is a sense of excitement. Like, I've never seen so many grown ass men have to tell somebody that I date, man, I used to talk to her, or I date her, or I used to sleep with her. You want to see a picture? I promise we did. I swear I did. So, like, why? Why? What is the thrill behind it? You just have to prove your point.
Guys, should be handling and moving totally different than these women move.
They
you know
do
what
not.
I mean? They really should, even though. But here's the other thing. It's really that type of guy, because all guys are not moving like that. So it's really a certain type of guy that moves like that. Like, you know, some of these guys are like females anyway.
That's
so
true.
it's
True
it's
that.
really just a certain type of guy that moves that way. You know, a lot of these women, it's almost like they born to just be messy. But you do have just as many fellas these days, and when
Oh,
we're
for
talking about the
sure.
millennials,
Currently, yeah.
that just gonna run and tell it. They're doing a yum bounce, and they want to front and stunt and tell everybody I'm hitting that and I'm doing that and I'm sleeping with her and it's crazy.
And let me tell y'all this. This is some key information. Don't deal with somebody that has less to lose than you. When you deal with somebody that has less to lose as you, they don't give a fuck. Like if you can find somebody, I'm not giving you out a permit to cheat. So don't act like I'm trying to give you out a permit to cheat. But what I'm saying is that seemingly when you deal with people that has less to lose than you, so for instance, if you're married and you're dealing with someone that's single, don't do that shit because they have nothing to lose.
Right.
And here's what's so fucked up. In their mind, which is dumb as fuck, but in their mind, they're feeling like if the person that you're dealing with mate know that y'all are dealing with each other, they gonna leave their mate and be with you.
Right.
You the last person they gonna be with.
Right.
Like, understand that if you're having an affair with someone and the significant other find out, you're gonna be the last person they're gonna be with. It happens like that all the damn time.
And they're only gonna be comfortable with being the side piece for so long before they start to do that little messy shit like tell people and show people. So I do agree with Shanetta. There is you shouldn't be messing around anyway. But if you are, don't go out and mess with somebody single and you married, because that ain't gonna last, brother. Sister, I can promise you that. I promise you that.
Listen, Linda.
Didi is saying, but we have to stop messing with folks who have nothing to lose. Exactly what Shanetta said. These girls or guys mess with folks with no goals, and they stay live. They so live for attention.
They do.
Didi also said me and Shanetta on the same page.
Yeah, for sure.
Got any comments on Facebook?
All right, so let's see. So Mary says, so true. She said everybody done been with somebody, unless it's somebody that you're around with on a regular. It's pointless. Men gossip more than women a lot of times. Kimberly says, Shanetta, preach. She said they worse than women running off at the mouth. She said not all of them move like that, but most of them do.
No, that's right.
Nate says 100. Listen, I'm telling you, it is. I've heard and seen conversations where I'm like, dang, that's how you operate. And let me just say this. People have this synopsis of, I'm from Pine Bluff and sometimes I act like a little dude. So if anything to me just seems weakening at that point, any respect that I have for you, I don't have respect for you anymore. Like,
so go back and explain that what you just said as it relates to a man.
If
you're seeing a guy and he's moving like a female.
Listen, if I'm dating a guy and if I'm dating you or have dated you, and it has been brought to my attention that you just around here pillow talking and just not even just pillow talking because you're not talking with nobody, you talking with other niggas. You just gotta let other people know that we've had some type of dealings. I no longer have no respect for you. So if you just the respect that I probably had for you while dealing with you, all that shit is just severed. I have no respect for you any longer. I just can't respect you at all.
And it should. Because a man should act like a man and don't act like a female. A lot of times these men be acting like females. That's some female stuff. Females are made to talk and gossip, not a guy. But as you said, sometimes it look bad.
Listen, I just want y'all men to know. I'm not saying our viewers are doing this, but if you are doing it and if you have done it, I want you to know that is just probably the lowest thing that you can do, especially dealing with somebody that's really real. And it just make me look at you just different. Like that's just some different stuff. It truly is.
Right. Nate is saying something on there?
Yeah, Nate says, I don't know. He says, men not gossiping. We telling the information that needs to be told. That's just keeping it 100. It's totally not true, Nate.
Yeah, it ain't.
Totally
Nate.
not
I
true.
can't agree with you on Nate.
It is 100% gossip.
And maybe Nate didn't hear the beginning of the question to be able to. What we said, Nate, is why is so Nate. So no, he knows the question. Why are men or women so comfortable with bragging on cheating with somebody else's spouse? So Nate, if you and I'm gonna ask Nate this question. So if you cheating with somebody that you shouldn't be dating, are you gonna be telling people that you're dating this woman that has a husband or that has a boyfriend or that has somebody? That's what the question was about, Nate.
Yeah, that was the question. He says, he said, I'm confused. Why is that such a female trait? He said if a man and woman dated, what's the issue? Nee says, what about the men that gossip and lie? Okay, I'm gonna go. We're gonna talk about that too, because it's a synopsis. Nate says, oh, he get it now.
Yeah. That's what we were talking about, Nat. I didn't think you got the question.
He
before.
says so. He says that's some cat shit. It is slick like
Right,
cat shit.
right.
Mary says it don't need to be total unless you're friends with that person's current mate. Listen, let me just say this. I'm not discrediting your opinion, Mary. I don't give a damn who it is. Listen, if it was an agreement that what you and I had were between you and I, what is here's what I found it to also be is they don't do it to the average person. So gossiping and telling it's never to the common person. It's always somebody that's a different caliber of person. So not just a man, not just women, it's men. Mm-hmm. It's always, so if somebody's having an affair with just the average person, nobody
they probably ain't gonna tell it.
Yeah, nobody really knows. They're not gonna tell. They don't really give a damn.
So what you saying is they want to say, I'm screwing his girl.
Oh, for sure.
So if he on his shit, he's having stuff, he's doing things. It's a privilege for you to be able to say, "Oh yeah, y'all think he all that."
But I'm messing with him. I'm I got his wife. Girl. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just if like I said, if you just a common Joe, they won't give a damn about that. But it's just to be able to tell somebody that they didn't had a touch, feel, look, conversation with somebody. It is like a let me beat you at that. Like, or let me let people know, yeah, he had it, but I had it first.
Right.
Like that Ray J shit.
Right, yeah.
You know,
you're right. I had it first.
I had it first. Like that's crazy as hell.
Yeah.
And so I want y'all men to understand. Like, listen, it's bad for women, but it's really bad for you dudes out here.
But
it's bad.
I always said this about Ray J's song, and this is very prevalent in this conversation. That's what you do. That's what happens when you give a weak nigga some pussy. Like that. That's really what happens when you do that.
Understand. Here's my only defense in that. When you don't know that you giving a weak nigga some yum bounce until after it happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Here's the thing. Like, it has happened to me on a couple of occasions, and I've been embarrassed to say, "Oh yeah, I fuck with the dude." You know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing. Like, it's really embarrassing. So, you know, at the time, in the moment, or in the situation, you don't know that they're gonna be telling nobody that. Especially when years have passed. Why are you telling people that? That's dumb as hell. What you telling folks that for?
They were weak anyway. They were weak from the beginning. You got a lot of comments over there. Nate's blowing us up.
Let's see. Bernard says, well, some of you women need to be talked about seriously, just like men. He said, if you're no good, your ghost smelling ass needs to be talked about. Bye, Bernard. Shit. Nate says, nope. He said, if two grown folk doing their thing, that's their business. He said, right. Someone that got something to lose, trying to rank up, get one up on them. Mary says, what if they real tight? He says, so would you tell your husband if you met one of his friends that you slept with in the past? Huh?
She's saying if you slept with one of his friends, would you tell your husband? I guess he would be your boyfriend. You would probably want to tell him that before he becomes your husband too, Mary, right? That's what I'm assuming she's saying.
Yeah, she says, so what if they real tight? She said, would you tell your husband if you met one of his friends that you slept in the past? Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure. Like, listen.
Mary.
Rick is down
tell
over
it.
here.
Because if you don't, you might get choked, Mary. You better tell it. Don't let me find out, Mary, that you done tossed a homie. And I done dated you for 2-3 years. The homie was coming around. And you didn't say nothing. And then now all of a sudden we get married. You tell me you tossed a homie. Your ass will get choked, Mary. All right, you better tell it up front, Mary.
Listen, let me get this disclaimer because I don't want nobody watch this podcast like this nigga choke me.
No.
This nigga ain't over here choking on nobody.
I'm saying as that really joke. I'm just saying as a joke.
Yes.
But Mary, you should say that. You should let him know that you have. And listen, that doesn't necessarily mean that he might quit you. If he like you, he might say, well, that was before me. It had nothing to do with that. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't control who you date. You obviously dated some people. That might not be a deal breaker, but Mary, you need to release that information.
You absolutely tell the truth on it. That's some real shit. You got to tell the truth. Hold on. So Nate says, woo. He said, talk that. He said, talk that, B. Shay says they think that's cute and they fall in love. They tell or throw hints, hoping the spouse get mad and leave, not knowing they couldn't have that person full time if they were given to them. Everyone has a past. That's agreed. I mean, and she says I agree with y'all. Mary said that's what I was saying earlier when I said they should only know if they are friends with the person current mate.
Okay.
And then I think Niece made a comment. I said that we was gonna. She said,
"Oh, let me go back and read these before you go." Okay. Bustin' Loose said a real man is not going to cheat anyway. Good job, Bustin' Loose too. Pink Dog 13 said them weak niggas sign
The whole time.
be there the whole time. Yeah, you gotta watch them. Pink Dog, you gotta watch them. They always. It's really hard to be somebody for a long time. Like, if you a weak nigga, you gonna have a weak nigga shit that comes up. Like, you should be able to see the weak nigga shit at some point in time.
Understand this. It does not come in the form of how it's now seen after you're not dealing with them no more. So people can, it's fucked up as it may be, they may exhibit signs in other places that you just were not paying attention to. And also, if you were kind of just caught up in the moment, whatever the moment was, you weren't really looking for that. But then now that it's over, you just like, damn, I should have known when your ass went outside and walked outside with 2 shoes off. I should have known you was a fucked up nigga. But at the time, you're like, oh, I didn't really think about that. But you don't start thinking about those signs until it's over, pretty much.
Until it's over. All right,
so
JD
Nee says, what about the men that gossip and lie? Let me just say this. It's the God's honest truth. I find men to do it more than women. I will agree.
I will agree.
Lie on listen.
I will agree on this. Now, I can't fight you on this.
There used to be a thing that they would just lie on they D word. Now they lie on their mouth. They don't care. Listen, they don't care what. They'll either say I gave an oral or I slept with one or the other. But they will lie just to tie themselves to somebody. They do that. Like, that just happens.
Facts.
So it used to be a long time ago where they be like, LOD, stop lying on your dick. No. They just lie on whatever part they want to lie on. I don't know. They just lie about it. It's just a lie, full lie.
Again, it's normally when they're trying to be one up on the girl that they're lying about, or the woman's man that they're lying about. Mm-hmm. You know, if what you lying on somebody that you have no connection with, that you ain't, you know what I'm saying? So that's normally how it happened. But I will agree that a lot of times, as it relates to your body count, the guy will lie and say, "Oh, I did her. Yeah. And for some odd reason,
it's almost like I got it before you.
And the other thing is, it makes you think, and it depends on the crew you with, that it makes you look macho because you had this person.
Right.
No, you look dumb, dude.
No, not to them.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
them. But it's the caliber of person. It goes back to you just being a weak ass dude from the beginning, right?
Yeah, because what does it matter? Because then what happens when you be like, I slept with it, and then you be like, oh, okay.
Because a real dude will never tell.
Why would you?
You ain't got nothing to tell about it.
Unless you're just trying to keep score, and like you say, it don't even be about the person that you slept with. It'd be more or less about the person that you slept with, who they're with at that time. It has nothing to do with the individual that they've been with. It has everything to do with the opposing party. So it has everything to do with, I want to have one up on that person. So let me tell people that and it's just dumb. Like, it's just be these niggas out here, like, they just be on some. And they just be on some scandalous is the word I'll use. Let me stick to scandalous because I don't want to call people out their names. They get sensitive. But yes, I have found it to be more common nowadays in men than women. Now let me just say this: these bitches out here do it too. Right. But these guys out here, because you are a man and you're held at a different standard, you're probably going to be more or better judged than women are. That women
harder
are
on that.
Yes,
because it's female stuff.
Yeah, women do that shit. They got a whole song about it. Barbara this Shirley. It's a whole song about calling a woman, telling a woman something. But a guy, no, that doesn't look good.
That's terrible.
That doesn't look good at all.
That's terrible. And speaking of Nate has his own little podcast, right? Now called Nate Logic.
For sure. Nate Logic. Yeah, it's come on like every other Wednesday.
Yep. Holla at your guy, Nate.
Get on there. Check him out.
All right, are we ready for our last question, Netta? Do we have any more comments?
Let's see what it said. Doesn't talk about. What's that?
Okay, it says dealing with family who assumes things about your marriage or relationship, but they have no clue. So it's family. I'm assuming that she or he was talking about family that just try to insert themselves into your relationship and thinking they can speak on stuff and has no clue, just speaking on your relationship, right?
Yes, I'm assuming so. Yeah, and I mean, the person that asked the question, she's actually on the live. They're actually on the live, so. Just to kind of get some clarification, are you meaning just family, just any family, like your side of the family, your boyfriend, girlfriend side of the family? Like, are you just meaning just family in general? Like,
and be specific about what they're assuming.
Yes, like how are they inserting this? How are they inserting themselves in your marriage or your relationship? Like, what is that like? What are they doing where you feel like they're inserting themselves in something they shouldn't be in? Because inserting yourself, making assumptions, excuse me. Ooh, making assumptions and inserting yourself. So making assumptions or opinions to other family members or something like that, it will not be as concerning as actually playing a part in my marriage or my relationship. It would be something totally different.
And so Didi asked me to ask the question again. Dealing with family who assumes things about the marriage or relationship, but they have no clue. So I guess they're assuming that your relationship or marriage is one way, but they really have no idea. So she wasn't very specific after that.
She was.
We're
She just
asking.
commented.
Okay, what is she saying?
So she says, it's my husband's sister. She said she assumes.
Oh boy. Hope she's not listening.
Listen. And if they listen, maybe if they are, she'll chill out. But she says my husband's sister. She assumes that how he was with her growing up is how he acts in our marriage. Okay, we'll talk about that. And then also Tanka says, can't no family speak on my marriage. No, sir, you would be out of order. Tanka, you better do that. Where my girl Shanitra at? Get on here, Shanitra, and you better give your husband a hand clap for saying that.
Out of order.
Completely out of order.
Right. Completely
out of order. So okay, Mary, so going back to you. So we always say this because it's old cliche, but it's true. But what does the Bible say about what's the Bible? Let's see if you know your Bible verse. What does the Bible say about when you get married? What are you supposed to do?
Clean to your wife.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And forsaking all others. Is that something like that?
Something like that.
He don't even know. Listen,
Clean to
where
your
is
wife.
Bishop Arnold? Somebody tell Bishop Arnold.
All that cussing we do.
Somebody tell Bishop Arnold so they're supposed to tell him his church member don't know the Bible.
Yeah.
So let me just say this. I promise you, that is a common thing. That is just a common thing and it does seem to be more in siblings, that there seems to be a common way of people, not even just siblings, friends. People automatically assume that because they know this person, have been around this person, and their track record has superseded them, they're going to be that same person with you. Like, that was kind of my thing with my husband. Mine was family and friends. I was like, damn, I'm just getting it on both ends. But that's a normal thing to do. And to be very honest with you, the only person that can fix that shit is your husband. So, because I want you to understand that as much as you try to fight and refute and you trying to force him to do and say and all that, it's just going to be worse. So, you're just going to be the in-law nobody like. So, hold on, because I want to tell him to see. Hold on. She says, she's more detailed. She said that, I guess the sister-in-law is always insinuating that I'm going to leave him because he got a fly mouth, but I know how to handle him just fine. LOL. She says, it's just annoying as fuck, and when she would mind her business.
Well, you should tell her that.
Shanitra says, come on now. She says, I'm here. Come on now, baby. You said tell her what?
Tell her that she talking about our business and she shouldn't. You don't, he might be different than what he was when you was in the house
That's for
with
sure.
him. You should say that
People
to
change.
the sister.
No, you want to say what?
Say that to the sister. Stay out my business.
Listen, my husband is on that bullshit, that BS.
I'm saying you should say that to the sister. Like, stay out the business.
But it's not for her to do that. That's his sister, not her sister.
So you're saying, oh, well, he should too. So both of them should. But
Kevin says you can't be afraid to put family in
their place.
In quotes and in their place. Yes. So I put a meme up like a week or so ago, and it said, "Do not let your family break up your family." So it happens. Like it is a universal thing. Let's be very clear. It is a universal thing. And so what I find to be more difficult in the African American community is that we're very abrasive. We're very abrasive and we're very protective. We all grew up in a home where our parents would tell us it's nobody, especially if you have siblings. It is nobody but you and your sisters or your brothers. It is just y'all. Y'all are it. Y'all are the omega and y'all the alpha and omega.
Don't let nobody come between
Nothing
y'all.
can come between that.
Yeah.
And so because your mom, your dad, your parents have drilled that into your mind, and they did not raise you to understand and deal with the sanctity of marriage.
Right.
That is what the thought process is. In
I
this
agree.
African American community, we're just taught that. We were just having a conversation with our kids last night about about physical fighting or getting into situations. And that was a conversation we had with our kids. Like, listen, ain't no one-on-one, ain't no fair fighting. And so in our community, we badger that into our kids. And so our universal with our children are both. We try to do both. We do listen, yes, you guys are siblings, take up for each other, be there for each other, love each other. But understand the sanctity of marriage. The sanctity of marriage is just what it is. You cannot come in between that. Brother, sister,
right.
Daddy, cousin, mama, whomever. And that's just going to take some time to get over. That's just going to take some time and some, I don't know how much time, but it just takes it. And then, to be honest, there's going to have to be a commonality between you and the husband. You and the husband will have to be on a common ground with that. Like, you can't keep fighting it and saying that she in our business and blah, 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 because he going to get tired of that shit. Because, men like us to just keep on going and going and going. So the two of you will have to come to some common ground as to how do we deal with this situation going forward together. Not me fighting against it by myself, you fighting against it by yourself, but the two of y'all coming together to kind of get that together.
And I do mimic and agree with you saying that it has to be that person that there's some kin to straighten it out.
Absolutely.
If it's the female's family, the female got to say, y'all chill the hell out. If it's the male, you have to say, chill out. It has to come from that party, and you have to hold them to that.
Yeah.
You have to hold them to that. They have to be accountable for every time they get they mouth on your relationship and get to talking. They have to be reminded. But I do agree that it needs to come from the person's side of the family who's doing that.
Absolutely. She says we both have, so now we just keep our distance, but I wish it didn't have to be that way. Meaning we both were told her to mind her own business. So that's delicate in the fact of it's almost making it seem like it's almost making it seem like, or it could be that people don't understand that when they're put in that situation and it's the spouse's family, they don't understand that it makes them have to choose. And so if you love your people, if you love, your cousin, your uncle, your brother, if you love them the way you say that you do, you won't make them have to choose.
Right. Facts.
So,
Facts.
And so people have to start considering do I really want to have to make my brother choose? Do I really want to have to make him have to not come around us as a family? Do I really want that to happen? Or do I just suck this shit up and let it be what it is? Because now what should happen is that your sister-in-law priority should be, I want my brother to be happy.
That's
and if
right.
you're doing that for him, then there shouldn't be an issue if that's what you're doing for him, because they should just want to see him happy and not be mistreated.
Facts.
She says, yeah, he would curse her out on any given day, but I be trying to be the peace, and now I'm just like, F it. Oh boy, that's rough. Bernard says, that's why I'm single, because I love to mingle, come and go as I please, and take care of needs. But I do love to see a beautiful couple do their thing, just like Tennessee whiskey. He said, I'm proud of you both. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, CB.
Tanker says, that's true, Rillo. He said, Netta, we was raised like that, but you learn the true values of life as you get older. He said, this is the best podcast, hands down. Appreciate that.
And Tanker's saying that our parents did kind of raise us to say, hey, fuck them hoes.
What?
Be with your sister.
Say what?
Fuck them hoes.
Be with your sister?
Hang with your sister.
No.
Side with your sister. But I mean, as you know how my mom, rest in peace. That's the way she raises. It took me messing up a marriage or two to be able to understand that, hey, when I marry this woman, it's no longer about my mom and my sister, and I don't have to choose. I could be everything. I don't have to not get along or not talk. It's just that I'm supposed to just go to my wife first. I'm supposed to cling to her first, and she should be my number one priority when you make that decision to get married. It's not just a relationship. It's not boyfriend and girlfriend. It's a marriage. And so forsaking all other than cling to your wife is that's what it says in the Bible.
Yes. She says, I'm the best he ever had. I think that's part of the problem. Misery loves company type situation. She has some stuff she needs to deal with internally. And the thing about it is that it's really hard for somebody to, and I don't really know your people or whatever, but it's really hard for someone to be genuinely happy with you when they're not happy themselves.
That's true.
And to be very honest, as adults, we all have our own lives going on. We all kind of have our own shit. So I don't have time to see what my sister's doing in the house with her husband. I have a sister that's married. I don't have time to see if she wants to call and divulge information to me about her husband, that's fine. But I don't have time to meddle in their household because I have to function with what's going on in my household.
Got to figure out your stuff.
And so if we were all kind of do that, if we were all kind of be so more focused on what we have, what we're attempting to get, it would be so much better.
Fixing our own, making sure our own stuff is straight before we go talking about somebody else's stuff.
Sweep around your own front door.
Sweep around your own front door.
She said, but thanks, I appreciate y'all advice. No problem. Tanker says, yeah, level. We was raised hardcore family. So here's the thing. Like my mother, I've said this in my post. My mother-in-law, I never called my mother-in-law because, of course, when she was living, I called her mom because she reminded me so much of my own mother. So as I wanted my husband to early on catch on to how things made me feel, I also understood. So a lot of the times, because I know he felt like he was in a position of having to choose, I was trying to be the peacemaker so he wouldn't have to choose. But then I also understood the embedded conversations that my mother-in-law placed in between he and his siblings. Like, she was sitting in front of me. She didn't give a damn. Like, fuck Brian, your wife ain't always motherfucking right. Fuck her. She ain't always right. Your wife, you been thinking she right all the goddamn time. Your wife ain't right all the time. It's about your sister them. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, just, hey.
In front of you?
Hey, mama, here
in front
I
of
am.
you.
You're like, hey, mama, here, it's me. But that is that's the truth. The truth is that it's, and not only in his family mind as well.
I was just going to say, did Ernestine not do the same?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember, if my sisters were on the podcast, my mom we had a conversation. My mom is married, of course. So one day we had a conversation. We talked to her in the bathroom. We were just talking, and she told myself and my sisters that her husband came before us, and we all cried. Like, we just all cried. We was like,
what?
That's not true. That's not what the Bible. She's like, the Bible. Listen, this is what the Bible. And I'm like, we your blood. He just your husband. But now I get it. So I would challenge those that are married, that are in the household, whether it's a 2-parent family or whether it's one. I would challenge you to, yes, raise your children up to love one another, protect each other, but also give them an example of understanding what it means to respect the sanctity of marriage, because we don't do that in our community a lot. So then it ends up here. Then they end up in divorce court, or it ends up where the other person aren't dealing with their people at all. So just make sure that there's a balance. Just make sure it's a balance. Let's see. So CB says, he said, you damn right, Tanka. And then Tanka kind of did a laughing emoji. He said, that's my auntie though. Yes, listen, you know how your auntie was? She did not care. And Reddit says, everyone needs to stay in their own lane and respect each other and live. Just because we don't agree doesn't mean we have to fall out. Well, Reddit depends how far I go. So sometimes you can't agree to disagree. But if agreeing to disagreeing leads to a fallout, we just falling out.
Right.
We just gonna be falling out like sanctified people in church. We just gonna fall out. Like, if it goes to that far. Nevertheless, because of people that you love, I love everyone in my husband's family. I don't like them all.
You don't love.
I don't like them all, but I love
them.
everyone in his family. Because I cannot express my love for him and not have love for those in his family, and vice versa. But I'm stretching, babe.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
You fidgeted?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Anyway, what did he say?
Didi told me I can't relate to this question. So
So Didi, let's move on to her next question. But yeah, so Mary, I hope that helped. And I hope that the easy thing for me to tell you to do in that situation is to have a conversation with your sister-in-law and ask her, does she understand how selfish it is to put her brother, your husband, in the situation to make him have to choose between the two of you?
Right.
All right. Tanka says, we love you too. Thank you, Tanka. Listen, I love and like y'all. So y'all get both. I love and like y'all. CB says, I'm not finna curse when they read it on here. So
CB is on glass number 8 by now.
He says, Auntie F that. He said, you right. You wrong. He said, I'm standing the F up. I was not gonna curse in what CB said out there. That's what he said. But anyway. Mm-hmm.
That was the last question we had.
That's it?
Yeah.
We're done for tonight?
Yeah, so we need to talk about what we're getting ready to, our next few episodes. We're going to do a series about relationships and marriages, right? So next week, my wife is from Pine Bluff. So our first week in this series that's set aside for relationships and marriages, we're going to have on the show. We have not had a guest on the show since COVID started, since March of last year, right? So it's just been Shanetta and I. Mm-hmm. Next week is our first time having a guest back on the show. I am so happy about this.
So am I.
And we have Pine Bluff's own Dovey and Danny Burrows, right?
Yes.
Didi knows who they are.
They're so amazing.
They just celebrated 33 years of marriage.
Mm-hmm. This past weekend. Happy anniversary, y'all.
I met this couple and these people, and they are just wonderful. So they are going to kick. We're going to have them on the podcast next Tuesday. It's going to be Mr. and Mrs. Burrows. Now, give the little history. They're, from Pine Bluff. One of them worked at UAPB, right? Prominent people in Pine Bluff.
Absolutely.
They have this thing at their home called Summer
Festival.
Fest. And they invite all of these people to their home. They have like 35 acres. I'm exaggerating. They have like 35 acres that they invite people. And we came and we watched Dee Dee performed. She said, "Yay, I love the Burrows." We watched Dee Dee perform there. Some of the other guys that performed at their little festival deal. And we are welcoming them to the podcast next week, right?
Yes, it's going to be awesome.
All right. But after that, we are also looking for other relationship people that are married that want to come on the podcast.
Or in just a committed relationship.
The other thing is, like my wife said, we want somebody that has been dating for a long time.
Yes.
If you guys know anybody that has been, let's say they've been dating for over 10 years, but they've never gotten married, we want to talk to them. Please put me in contact with these people that have long-standing relationships but have not gotten married. Everybody does not desire to get married, right, babe?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's true.
So you can be just as happy in a relationship that you're committed to each other. You don't have to be married, even though people say the only thing that's respected in God's eyes is to get married. I don't normally agree with that. You can have a healthy relationship with not getting married. So if you guys know anybody that has been together for over 10 years and have not tied the knot, we need to hear from them.
Yeah.
We need to talk to them.
We're gonna so Dee Dee just mentioned that. She said don't speed dating. Don't forget my suggestion. Dee Dee, I promise tonight when we get off, when we go to bed, we'll do that. We'll put something together to do speed dating. And
Dee Dee ain't got a man?
We're gonna do speed dating. Cause listen, I'm gonna marry my girl off. Somebody gonna hand him a good wife in Dee Dee. Let's see. Retta says, CB says, LOL about me not cursing. And Retta says, I'm proud of you. Retta, we love you and we hope that you get well very, very soon.
I got you, Retta. I know what you're talking about. I got you.
Yeah. And then CB says, he says, shit, that's me. He said 25 years and loving it. You been in a relationship for 25 years?
I thought CB just said he was single.
CB, are you single? You got 4 girlfriends. Are you in a relationship for 25 years? Which one? That's a multiple choice now. You got the 4 girlfriends. Are you single or have you been in a relationship for 25 years? Come on, chime in, CB, real quick.
Okay. Dee Dee said, nope, single and ready.
Listen, somebody gonna get a good wife and my girl. Listen, Dee Dee is my heart and my soul. She is just the it for me. I want y'all to understand, she is the it for me. So one more thing I wanted to talk about, address just a little bit, and we talked about this on our last episode. He said, "Yes, ma'am, several girlfriends." On our last podcast, I want you guys to go get vaccinated, please.
Yes.
There are people just really leaving. I think today, maybe this morning, I want to say yesterday, we had 46 people to pass away in Arkansas. So please be sure, if you have not been vaccinated, go get vaccinated. This little variant thing is really it is taking a toll. It is a supplement of COVID. I don't know what it is, but I love each and every one of you that support us or support me or support my husband. So I want you guys to stay around. I want us to be able to get together and congregate more regularly as we normally are. So that cannot happen if you contract this crazy thing. So please make sure you get yourself vaccinated. If you choose not to do so, that is absolutely your freedom. Your freedom of speech, or freedom to not do so. But wear your mask, wash your hands, be courteous of those that you're around, especially with these kids and these babies. We're losing kids, we're losing babies, we're losing, young adults. Like my grandmother used to say, we lose people we ain't never lost before.
Oh, you wake up dead.
My grandmother would say, okay, so you gonna wake up dead. We lose people we ain't never lost before. So, and seriously, make sure that you guys, please go get yourself vaccinated. And outside of the speed dating thing, I think that outside of the speed dating thing, I think my husband and I are going to put together at the suggestion of Dee Dee. I think we're going to do a live panel. We're going to do a live panel thing. So we can probably get somebody to come out and do COVID. So if you know someone that could come mobile, do COVID vaccinations, please inbox myself or my husband and let us know.
Yep, that is so very important. We don't want them to shut the state down again.
We love you too, Dee Dee.
Please go get vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
All right, so if you are listening and you would like to hear future and past episodes, all you have to do is search any podcast app that you can search for Love Wins by the Steward. Please follow us. Please like us so that you can get all of our new episodes as we download them. Please go in your notifications in your Facebook and your Instagram and ask to be notified when we go live, because typically when we are having an episode, we go live, right?
Yes.
And if you want to see the video of this podcast, it lives on YouTube under Brian Stewart Sr., right? And that's Brian with the Y.
Yes, so our last comment, CB says, nice show, love you all, and take care. We love you too. He said, I'll be back next week. Brian, best choice you made in your life is on your left side. Thank you so much.
Thank you, CB.
We love you too. So make sure you come back next week so we can talk about your several girlfriends.
All right, that is a wrap. We will see you next week.
Thank y'all for joining. Bye.